Hi and welcome back. This is Fia. Today I was thinking we're gonna make a miniature cage. And it's gonna be something like, let's see if I can find the viewer, like this. And for scale and minute, it's a pretty big cage. But this is gonna be for our merchant stall that I've been building. So for this project, you're gonna need two different kinds of wire, two different gauges. And I'm sorry, but I don't really know the gauges. You're gonna need, let's see, a little bit thicker one and a pretty thin one. If you can get it to focus. And I'm just using this. I found at the thicker one, I just found at my local home improvement store, and this is for jewelry making, so this is stuff I already have. And to start out, we're gonna make two circles, and to make it easier to do this cage, I'm gonna want to make this about twice the size, a little bit more than twice the size of the circle that I want. So that you see, you're gonna need a little bit more than double amount of the circle, because you're gonna twist it. And you see here, I'm just twisting it, and you see underneath here, these are the tools I'm gonna use today. A snipper, nose pliers, but bent, and nose pliers, but with ridging. And the ridging is for, it just makes it easier to hold. It grips the wire. So you see here, I'm just twisting the wire around itself, pretty tight, but still I want it to be a circle, but it doesn't matter if it's not even or anything. I just want it to be held together. You see, I'm using the pliers to make sure that it stays flat together, so it doesn't become like, what would you call it? Like bubbles of the wire. You want it to be as smooth as you can get it, while still giving it some texture. And the double wrapping, or making it double wrap like this, will make it easier when it comes to making the bars going sideways. So now you see I have one. I rarely measure my stuff. I just start and create whatever works. So I'm gonna do one more of these, and then I'm gonna be back. Okay, bye for a bit. Okay, so I'm back. And I've made two circles, roughly the same size. And I've just made sure that I get them as circular as possible. And by pushing them down here, I've tried to make them as straight as possible. It just makes it easier to work. Now I've cut a piece of the thinner wire. I don't know how long. I just cut a piece that I think will be enough. And it's easy enough to add on more if it's not. So, and like I said, I never measure, so here goes. So now I'm just tying one of the ends of this wire by, let's see if I can show you, by twisting it around a couple times and then twisting it around itself to make it secure. And I've also made sure on my thicker wire rings to push in all the ends like you see here, so there's no sharp things sticking out. So now I'm just taking my piece of wire, I'm trying to make it a little bit smooth, make sure there's no nicks in it. And I'm just gonna go and trying to decide how big I want my cage, how far between I want my cage, how long I want my cage bars to be. And I think about 1 inch here is probably good. I think the rings are, yeah, pretty much 1 inch in diameter, these ones. And I'm just taking my wire, and it's gonna be hard to see since this is a thin wire, but I'm just taking it and running it through the circle once again, and trying to keep the length that I decided. It's easy to get it longer in this stage, but it's also easy to fix since there's only one point of connection. And if you can see here, see if I can get to show you. It's hard to get it to zoom. Come on now. There you go. I've twisted it around the upper circle. So now I want it to go to the other side, but I also want a dome shape. So I'm gonna go to the other side, making sure that I leave some wire sticking up, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side, putting the wire through again to make a loop so it will secure itself. And this is why it's nice to have this twisted wire, because it makes the loops not move around that much. So here you see, I got this dome shape on top. And now I'm gonna go down into the under circle again. And I'm gonna make a loop again. And the wire will probably get twisted as you're doing this, but just try to keep it as straight and as unknotted. You see here, it's starting to knot. So I'm gonna make sure I get it out, because all these, if they get too tight, it will break the wire. Since this is a thin wire, it's gonna break the wire, and it's gonna be, you're gonna have to patch it up more. So now I'm just trying to make sure that my circles are at an even height, and that the wire is opposite the first wire I put in place. And just once again making a loop. Okay. Just tightening it. Seeing, so it's a bit too long on this side. And the two first wires are usually the most important ones in getting like lengthwise and stuff. So now I'm gonna make the bottom of the cage, and as you see here, it has wires going across, but so far there is no wires. So I'm gonna go around to where I started from, and I'm gonna do a loop here again. But instead of going up where I started from, because I don't really want that, I'm gonna just twist my wire around for a little bit till I get to the next halfway point. And here I'm keeping it pretty tight so it doesn't go loosen up on me. And so it doesn't show too much either. So here I am at the halfway point again. So I'm gonna start making almost like putting it into quarters, and then I'm gonna have that, and then I'm probably gonna have that again. And here once again, just making a loop. This is a bit time consuming, but the results are pretty fun, I think. And I think it's gonna be a great addition to my little market stall, because I have something special planned for this market stall. And as I go, if I see that the loops or that the wire is moving around, I'm just gonna tighten it with my pliers. So I've looped it around the top one, and now I'm gonna loop it around my little dome-shaped wire. And this will start to make the dome. I hope you can see this with this thin wire. But it's the easiest way to make this is also to use the thin wire, because it's more pliable. You can absolutely make these, especially if you make them in a bigger size, with a thicker wire. But these small ones, I've tried to making them with a thicker wire, and it's hard to get the knots and stuff to stay, or the loops to stay tight while you're doing it. Okay, so now we're gonna come to the other side. Once again, making a loop. And now we're starting to get the dome shape. And here also, trying to keep so that you don't make it super high, that wire is super long on one side and super short on one side, trying to keep it in the same size or same length all the time. And it gets easier the more wires you get in to keep it that way. Okay, here I'm gonna do something different. Now I'm coming to the bottom, and I'm gonna make a loop, and I'm gonna split the difference between two of my sidebars. And the first one, you're probably gonna need to make it really, really tight and make sure that it stays in place before you get the other ones in, because this is exactly the way, let's see, come on, focus, that you're gonna do it. And now I'm going up between, come on, my camera is not, or my phone is not cooperating with me today. And I'm splitting the difference between two of the already in place metal wires. And I'm gonna keep doing this, going around and around this little cage. And I'm gonna do it till I have filled the gaps in between this as well. So I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm about halfway done, as you can see here. And I thought I would mention something else. It's a good thing to try and decide while you're doing this if you want your wire to run on the outside or the inside of the circle wire, and try to keep consistently looping the same way. So if you decide, like I have done, to put it on the outside, I always put my thread on the outside of the ring, stick it in under the ring inside the ring and pull it through so it comes out on the outside of the circle when it's done. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on now. You see, like this, it's going on the outside. If I did it the other way around and put it from the inside and made sure my wire come out from the inside out, I would try to keep doing that again and again to make it look the same. Here you see I made a little mistake and the wire is going, see if I can get it to focus, the wire is going underneath and it doesn't look as nice, I think, as when all the other wires that are going on top. And also just trying to remember at every time that you can put a loop, press together the wire loop here, make sure they're tight together, makes them stay better, and make sure that your length are keeping about the same between every loop and stretching the wire. So okay, I'm gonna do the rest in between like I'm showing you here. So it's gonna be bars like that about. Let's see if I can. And you can make it even tighter if you like, but I'm gonna put stuff in my cages, so I want to be able to do that. So I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and I'm finished with my little cage. See if we can get it. Like so. And I've just gone in when I have looped everything and pushed the end in. I just go in and, oh, here it's broken. This is what happens when you have these really thin wires. It breaks really easily if you work with it too much. But I'll fix that, it's no problem. But I'm just trying to space them nicely so they're about even. And then I've just pushed everything so it sticks more or less. And here you see the top part and the bottom part. Let's see, on there, where all the loops is. And I think this one is gonna be put on just a jump ring for making jewelry or something, or chain maybe. So I'm not gonna do like I did with this one, where I went in and made a loop at the top of the cage. So this one does not have a loop, but it will have something to hang from when I'm gonna use it. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back. Bye.